In my time here on YouTube, I have been making weekly videos on my insight to the issues important to the transgender community. I want to make absolutely one thing clear before I proceed with this video. These videos are not meant and were never meant to target, harass communities as a whole. These videos are meant to target those who wish to deface respectable communities that these activists claim to defend or challenge, when in reality these individuals or sects or groups, whatever you want to call them, are bringing harm to those they think they are defending and making themselves look like fools in the process. These individuals use the mask of the group they claim to represent to selfishly gain a following with the intent to overthrow leaders of a certain race, religion, or in the case of these videos, gender. To impose their ideals to what they believe is the correct path. The reason why I bring up this disclaimer is the mere fact that today's subject is religion and the transgender community. It's the main reason why, above all else, the transgender community is desecrated, humiliated, and disrespected around the entire world. Let's be aware of something here. In no way, shape, or form does the wisdom and lessons presented in any of these religious texts, whether it be the Torah, the Quran, and the Holy Bible, say anything that gives you justification to bring harm to those within your community. These spiritual texts give insight and wisdom only to help fulfill an individual's life. These religious texts were never to be used as weapons or give political leverage. For those of you who do that, you bring shame and dishonor to your fellow followers of your faith. These texts are not manuals on how things should and should not be in literal terms. Let me ask you this question. How do you know that the boy that is staring at you right now does not carry the spirit of a female? How do you know that the daughter playing with dolls in the next room does not harbor the soul of a male? You all seem to be infatuated with what you see physically, but you fail to see that child within. This is why the children are thrown out to the streets, because either the mother or the father, or both, feel that God is punishing them. In no way, shape, or form is that true. God is giving you a chance to love that child. Regardless of who she or he is. However, since you threw out God's gift, you will now suffer irreprehensible consequences. I have heard tales of people hiring assassins or hitmen to kill off said burdens or curses. It's not your place to make that decision at all. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody out there made a tombstone for you. I have a message for the young members of the transgender community who have been abandoned by these troglodytes. I ask, no, I demand that you throw that weapon pointed towards you out the window. I demand that you step away from that ledge. I demand you cut down that rope. And I demand that you throw those pills in the toilet, because your life is not your decision to take away. It's God's decision. Not everyone in your faith or religion thinks the way that your sorry-ass family did. There are those of different faiths who would love and care for you in ways that you deserve. Don't worry about your blood family. I'm pretty damn sure the devil herself is having fun with them right now. Carry on with your life. Improve it. Show these wretched fools that they regret throwing you out in the first place because of their sick view of their faith. If you ever return to them in the future, I'm pretty sure they look decrepit. At that point in time, you have two options. You can either forgive them or leave them. Sadly, not many of these individuals can be forgiven. The only thing you can do is make a loving family that is caring and truthful the way you yearned for. Now, in regards to the members of the political spectrum, I'm thoroughly confused. Since when did religion get mixed with politics? I've always been taught that religion was never to interfere with politics. Yet for some odd reason, lately in the past 10 years, it has interfered. And this is the result. Let's get something straight here. Who or what gave you the right to impose your religious beliefs onto the general public? If you say God did in any way, shape, or form, then you are a fool for believing such nonsense. If you think creating laws like the debacle that's going on between transgenders and sports is your idea of a solution into creating a world as envisioned by God, then you are a fool for believing such nonsense and are a joke to people who voted for you. In fact, that type of mentality lives on in oppressive cult leaders. Names like David Koresh, Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh, Marshall Applewhite. Your behaviors remind me of them. So do your voters a favor. Stop imposing your religious beliefs onto the general public and do what is right for them. I'm no secretary to God, but I'm pretty sure that he or she is none too pleased with you using thy name and thy teachings for your own selfish gain. Transgender people are individuals created by God. Don't ask me why. I'm not the one who created them. I'm not God's mother or father, So don't ask me any questions about the situation. All I can say is there is a reason why we exist. What that is, I can only speculate that God is testing us, seeing as we are capable of following his teachings, regardless of who enters this world. Some of you are proudly succeeding. However, some of you are laughably failing. Indeed, I do a little bit of background research. And I know who to respect and who to laugh at. If you're a Republican, it sickens me that you cherry pick certain sections of the Bible in order to justify the logic in the bills you're pushing to pass. However, by the same token, the Democrats, I wouldn't be so quick to open up your arms to just about anybody who claims to be transgender in any way, shape, or form. Because some of those individuals, if not a lot of them, will use your open arms to do harm to others that they believe that they identify with. And be a trans individual. Yes, that does include a certain MMA fighter and a certain firefighter in a certain city who's suing for discrimination. I know who you are. You're not doing anything of justice to your community, for your community. So to summarize, every religious text out there teaches us how to become better people, better families, better communities. It was never to be used as a weapon to dismiss, desecrate, demonize, or politicize people, straight or LGBTQ. You do that. It is not I that you hate. Personally, or because I'm part of the trans group. It is God who you truly hate. Because you will do whatever it takes to destroy what God has created, because it does not follow what you see or envision. And that includes not following what God envisions. In the end, I will take great pleasure in making sure that your imposing beliefs